I'm on demon time, so this ain't AI, this ME. I stand on business. I'm not speaking for Bruce, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not giving an account of what he needs to give an account for because that's his responsibility. And he didn't tell me to say anything, he didn't give me any specifics. We're all going to find out tomorrow at the same time, whatever his account is. The things that I do know is I was on the phone with him when he was being harassed for the pictures. He told me about that. I asked him to send me the pictures. And when I called him and wanted to know why he didn't tell me the truth, as he was explaining it, he said the ride had to come back, and so he had to call to get the ride back to him. I can put the rest of it together. I don't need a play-by-play from him. I have sense enough to know that those two things, he was being harassed for the pictures, pressured to send the pictures, and he had to call to get the ride to come back to get him. Everything else was on social media. So Bruce is a grown man. He'll explain things from his perspective, but I was giving my perspective. He told me he went. I believed he went. I had no reason not to believe it. I called on the three-way with him to Spit and Fire to see if he could come on her platform. I gave him one Papoose number and some Facebook groups so that he could go on there, talk about his visit with Rob, and then get the different platforms to help him get there once a month or twice a month. Because I thought it would be good for Rob to give instructions to each different platform on what he wanted people to do. And that's what I wrote Robert and told him that. So I had that conversation with Bruce, and I had I wrote Robert and spelled things out. You know, I was operating under the premise like everybody else. Did I know that he would need Cash App money to go visit his brother again and again? Of course. He told me he had a stroke, he had surgery. He was incapacitated for a while, unable to work. He's getting himself back into the swing of things. Of course I know that. So it's important, if he wants to go see his brother and if people want to help him, that you just have full disclosure. So I had no problem with that. And if people want to help him go see his brother, why not do it? But we're not going to label that scamming because, as I said in the previous video, if it's scamming for him to accept money or allow people to help him, then it's scamming for everybody else who's been doing it for 5 years. If you're the person that invited Bruce on your platform, you Cash Apped him to bless him. Then when he was on your platform, you asked everybody to Cash App him so that they could help get him to North Carolina. Then something happened with that, and you got the plane ticket, you got the hotel, and you even got him a ride to the prison. All that's on the up and up. 20 minutes after he didn't get in, you were the first person he called because he had to get his ride to come back and get him. And you were the person that arranged for her to pick him up and bring him there. So you knew that he didn't get in. And since you had done all those other things, you took responsibility for all of that. You were supposed to take responsibility for letting the infamous family know that he didn't get in. You pressured him to send you the pictures. I was on the phone with him when you were calling, and he said, she's bugging me to get the pictures. I said, what pictures? From when I went to North Carolina. Oh, send the pictures to me. So he sent them. You had your Cash App visible on the screen each time you asked people to Cash App Bruce. So they didn't know if they should, where they should send Bruce money. So I'm sure a lot of people sent the money directly to you. In the chat, you had his Cash App, but you were also posting your Cash App. Not you, but your mods. So your one mod or two mods would post Bruce, and then everybody would post you. So 2 for Bruce, 3 for you. 2 for Bruce, 3 for you. And you kept your Cash App on the screen, but his wasn't visible. So anybody looking at that that's not in the chat and you're saying Cash App Bruce, a lot of that money was going to come to you just by default. Sometimes they would give Bruce's Cash App name, but if the people ain't listening all the way through and they just hear Cash App Bruce and the only Cash App they see on the screen is yours, that's who's getting the money. Of course it's scamming. You had Bruce come back on your channel to talk about his visit to Rob. You sat quietly and praised your infamous family there in North Carolina. Somebody named Fifi was responding in the chat saying she was the one driving him around. Bruce said her name was Felicia, driving him around and picking him up. You said she picked him up, took him to Butner. So that means 2 of you found out immediately when he didn't get in. So the infamous family should have been told by the infamous Sylvia and Fifi. But as Bruce was on there, you and Fifi said nothing. But prior to that, you coerced the pictures, bullied the pictures out of them for you to paint the picture as you had your Cash App up on the screen. I told Bruce you were getting twice the money that he was when he went on your platform. You had one of your mods posting his Cash App and one of your mods posting your Cash App. You have your Cash App as your screen name. So every time you're on screen, your Cash App is visible. So as people look at the screen, if they're not looking at the chat and you're saying send money to Bruce, they're going to send it to your Cash App. I guarantee for every $1 he got, you got 3. So of course you wanted people to think that he went, he got in, he had a great visit, because that meant more money for you. People think if you pray and you don't curse, that means something. No, you are a gangster scammer.